Today we are celebrating in the home of the Faculty of Letters and Humanities the first international conference on women's studies under the title Decolonizing Women's Voices Across Disciplines. This conference has brought together many researchers, many academicians, scholars, professors, PhD students from many parts of Morocco as well as from all over the world. Researchers from the USA, Portugal, Spain, France, and even India. So they have come together to join us for this conference in order to discuss, inquire, and give our insights about this topic, which is a very, very awesome and very updated. It's about approaching women's voices from a decolonial approach. When we talk about decoloniality, and this is the kernel objective of our conference, is to approach women's voices from this decolonial perspective. It means to deconstruct the colonial sediments that have affected women's voices in media and literature and in many narratives, even in education. So today we would like to approach women's voices to give women spaces from which they can express themselves, but of course with reference to their indigenous culture, from within the context of their indigenous culture, within also the context of their geographical locations, in order to have their say. And of course, last but not least, I would like to thank the organizing committee, my colleagues, Professor Mohamed Louza, Professor Bushra Bilgaid from Mohammed the First University in Oujda. And of course, I would like to thank the president of Qadi Ayad University, the dean of the Faculty of Letters and Humanities, the director of Lerma Laboratory, the director of LCTL Laboratory, and all my students who have made a tremendous effort to make this event a success.
Hello, everyone. My name is Diana Fox. I'm a professor of anthropology from Bridgewater State University in Massachusetts, USA. I am here because of the kind and generous invitation of Dr. Hanan Alassi, who I met in 2019 in Bangkok, Thailand, at another Women's Studies conference. And all the years later, it's such a pleasure to be here to learn from so many interesting and important thinkers. One of the most significant features of this conference is hearing from women, and of course men as well, who are allies in the struggle, supporters of the struggle for women's liberation, hearing their voices about the histories and challenges, victories and setbacks that women have faced in their particular histories of their own societies. So from Portugal, here in Morocco, the United States, we're going to hear about Kenya, many other places in the world where women have had uneven progress, important progress, and now this conference brings the lens of decoloniality to feminism, initially coined by the Argentinian feminist Maria Lugones. Her ideas have spread through technology, through publications, and we have the value of transnational feminist discourse. This is a transnational feminist conference that allows us to see similarities and differences across our different spaces of the struggles for women's rights, of the way in which curricula in academia are being decolonized or not. That means including the voices of women, unpacking what we call the European episteme, the assumption of the universality of perspectives and knowledge that come from Western ways of knowing. And we are being exposed to alternative approaches. My own work focuses on indigenous peoples of the Caribbean, women artists from the lower caste in Nepal and other places in the world. And their voices have influenced my work as I've worked with them in partnership and solidarity as an approach to decolonizing my own discipline of anthropology. So I welcome this opportunity opportunity. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm learning a lot, and I hope I've contributed a little bit to other people's knowledge as well. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we come to the end of this international conference on women's writings, we would like to express our gratitude to all the people who have contributed to the success of this conference. Mainly Dr. Abdjalil Kourifa, the Dean of the Faculty of the Letters and Humanities and the University of Qadi Ayyad. It was a conference on academic topics that include post-colonial issues from different perspectives, such as decolonial angle, a post-human perspective, and a post-colonial paradigm. It was a second day was full of interesting discussions, academic exchanges between the speakers, the participants, the students, and everyone during the conference. So it was a conference full of new ideas, new concepts, and also interesting exchanges between the participants, the students, and the professors.
Hi, my name is Ana Luisa Martinho. I'm from the Polytechnic University of Porto and also the Research Center, CEUS, of the Polytechnic of Porto. I'm here because my dear colleague and friend, Dr. Hanan El Assi, invited me to be here. I met her in a conference in Porto, and we discussed on this topic, on gender issues and also the migration. And today I presented an overview of the women's studies in Portugal, and also regarding the global trends on the three waves of feminism. And it was my great pleasure to share this part of my research with all of you. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Samira Azabar from the University, Radboud University in the Netherlands, and I'm working on exclusion of minorities in Western societies. I'm here today at the Decolonization conference in Marrakesh, and I really enjoy it, particularly listening to other colleagues from all over other countries about decoloniality, decolonizing, and in particular how we can amplify the voices of women, and in particular those who are marginalized in society. So it's a really interesting conference where we meet, network, and where we exchange strategies to strengthen the position of women all around the world.
Hello, my name is Sophie Proust. I'm associate researcher at the University of Lille in France, and I'm very happy and proud to be here for the first conference about decolonizing women's voices across disciplines in Marrakesh. I'm very happy to have been invited by the Professor Hanan El Assi, because it's so important to speak about this subject for not only for Moroccan students, Moroccan researchers, but as well for people in Morocco, for people in France, for people all over the world, because the world is changing, and we can be part of this change in order to think, and it's why we are invited to do that here, and I'm very happy to be here. I will speak my speech is about to rehabilitate the visibility of women of yesterday and today in the history of France, of theatre in France, and I will speak about the necessity of not forget the women of the past, and of the necessity to make some new publications and to make a kind of archive to speak about matrimony in order to have some models for young girls and also young women, and also for women and also for men, because we have to propose a new way of seeing life. And for that, in France, I gave some statistics, and we can see that in 2006, thanks to Ren Pratt, who was working at the Ministry of Culture, we knew that 78% of the performances we saw was written by men, and that 92% of the theaters were directed by men. And now, after so many years, but not so many years, but some years, we change, and the Ministry of Culture in France is working on parity, and we see so many change, like, for example, more text of women on stage, more directors who are women directors, and it's very interesting to see another way of thinking the world and together, men and women. Thank you.
My name is Marjorie Cantor. I'm really pleased to be here for the conference on decolonializing issues for women. And I'm from originally the United States, but I live in Spain, where I've been for the past 40 years. So I'm sort of mixed culturally at this point. And I started out as a speech and language therapist and a bilingual one, but I became a creative writer since I lived in Spain, and that's what I do now. I write very short, poetic-like short story based on real life pieces. The conference is fantastic. The organization of it is amazing. Everything is going like clockwork, but also the quality, the level of the presentations is exciting, interesting, provocative. The mealtime and the coffees allow for great conversations that are expanded from the talks, and so I look forward to a future one and having this dialogue continue the rest of today and tomorrow and for the future. And thank you everyone for this wonderful time in Marrakesh also.
So I'm so grateful and happy and honored to be part of this 2 days international conference on decolonizing women's studies conference. So I met Professor Hanane last November, and she invited me to be part of this conference. I'm so grateful to her, and it was such a great opportunity to be here. So this 2 days conference was so inspiring and exciting in so many ways because like it's my first time attending a exclusive like conference on decolonizing women's studies. So I have got like a lot of inputs, and I was impressed, and I really appreciate the efforts of Dr. Hanane and her team and all the students and faculty and also the other administrative staffs and other supporting staff who made this conference a success. And I'm totally impressed with this Moroccan culture and also the hospitality. They were so cordial and so welcoming, and it was really nice. And like you know, this conference also in a way like I also presented my work, and it was also my first time presenting a work on autoethnography. So it was so challenging for me. So this conference, it's not only it's going to benefit me academically, so I'm also looking forward for more collaborations with Professor Hanane and Saadi Ayad University particularly. And I also like this conference is going to be one of the most cherishable, like memorable, like conference, because I have attended many other like international conference where we never meet people and it's like kind of very academic, but this one it like I felt like very home, and even like I learned a lot like how to like organize a conference, this one. And I'm really like grateful, and I appreciate the efforts of this the Department of Letters and Humanities and Dr. Hanane. Thank you.
Hello everyone. My name is Professor Bushra Belgaid. I am from the University Mohammed I, Oujda. I think it had been really a very great opportunity for me to be here. I was a coordinator with Professor Lacey and Professor Luza in Oujda. I think I might say that the conference was really a great success, and we had really many participants coming from different parts of the world. So I think Professor Lacey and Professor Luza did really a great job of organizing the conference, and so the conference with its different and diverse themes has been really very enlightening and very interesting for me. I wish that it won't be really the last chance that we organize such important events. I hope that this conference might open up the door for future contributions, maybe between the University Mohammed I in Oujda and Al Qadi Iyad University, and that this kind of activities won't stop. That it will be really, will give the path for further, contributions, between our mutual universities. I did really enjoy, the conference and, my stay in Marrakesh. And I thank all, the participants and the, organizers. And I wish that, as I already mentioned, that this would be, will be rather, will open the door to future research. And thank you.
My name is Dr. Wangari, and I am from the UK. I've done my PhD, or finished my PhD with University of Manchester. I am also the CEO of an organization called the Racial Justice Network, and I've been doing that work for a long time. I identify as an activist scholar, and I am also a mother of a 1-year-old beautiful daughter. And that said, we have traveled, including my partner, we've traveled to Morocco together for the first time. And the feedback on Morocco and the feedback of the conference itself is kind of intertwined, being that this is the first time we've been here and encountering communities that feel real solidarities. But also there's a difference in language and also a little bit difference, kind of nuanced differences in terms of culture, but generally appreciated just being here and in the warm weather as well. In terms of the conference, I'd say I was intrigued but very encouraged when I saw the call for papers and the topic itself on decolonizing women's conference. So, that was the reason why I thought to send an abstract and see what comes through. Partly because I'm Kenyan, born and bred in Kenya, but I've been living in the UK for quite a while. And to see something at conference of this significance in Africa is a good thing and a big thing. And I wanted to not only stand in solidarity, but also bring and share perspectives, because there's so much more in terms of experiences of being colonized, achieving independence, and I say independence in quotes, and maybe this applies in some places and not so much in others, and what we continue to see. I focus on my projects, mostly have focused on colonial legacies, addressing legacies of colonialism. And this is what I brought to the conference, looking at what I call the boomerang effect, which is the existence and the continuing dehumanization of people and oppression, and also for those who are trying to challenge and liberate or to challenge the oppression or the oppressors, the fact that we still experience a lot of, maybe another additional layer of oppression, just even for speaking up. um, and struggle. I've really appreciated being here and hearing all the other perspectives and other speakers who've brought in ideas that maybe I've thought of and maybe not articulated as much. I've also appreciated interacting with the students. I think where I was sat or have been sat mostly it's been with some of the students and hearing what they're doing, where they're leading to, their passion, and the warmth. I think I have to say also the warmth that comes with this studying in academia and scholarship. That's been something I've really appreciated, maybe because I don't see it as much or haven't experienced as much of that in other spaces. So that I've appreciated, and this is maybe one of that kind of holds everything, is hoping to build solidarities, meaningful solidarities, not just in the now and the here, long term. I've expressed that I'd love to connect and stay connected, but also come back again or even invite others to the UK if it's possible, because I know we hold our own international symposiums ourselves. So it'd be good to kind of stay in touch, which I think I felt it in the breaks, during the breaks and the coffee breaks and the lunches. I want to thank the organisers for organising this. I've done similar in Kenya, like organising international conferences in Kenya and in the UK, and it's not an easy task, pulling everybody together, keeping everybody connected, making everybody feel welcome, and gratitude for being here. And I felt that from the organisers to the people who I'm signing the sheets with, to people I'm sitting down with and having drinks with, to the people who walked me to go find a taxi when I finished, because I didn't know how to get one. And even getting lost, because I've got lost a lot. So all of that for me kind of is an appreciation of organising this and taking that effort, making that effort. And I imagine lots of sleepless nights looking over the papers that people sent through, to even planning the speakers and the panels and all of that. So I think my feedback, as I'm saying, is just gratitude, a lot of gratitude, a lot of appreciation to everybody. I should also say even to the security who guided me to the building, because I did get lost a few times, as I said. So there's been a lot of me asking for help, even with the language barriers, and being able to receive that. So I want to be grateful and give my thanks from everybody, from the very senior roles to junior roles to students. And I hope there's others that will be built on this, because that's always the danger, that we kind of have events and moments that are very good and powerful and invigorate us and wake us up or bring certain things to our consciousness. But if there's nothing to build on, continue building on, that energy that's been fired up can just feel like it might die down. So I'm hoping that there will be a build up, there will be a connection that will stay, people who want to engage with each other, exchange contacts, because most of this is really about networking and, as I say, solidarity. And I hope that's possible. And as I say, thank you.
And I happened to come to this university by virtue of my contact with Hanane LSE, Professor Hanane LSE, and who happened to be the resource person of one course that I organized last year, that was a Gyan program. And Dr. Hanane LSE was the resource person for 12 days. And by virtue of that, I also developed that touch with her, that communication, that contact with her, and I'm here to present this paper. I was being invited as a participant to present a paper on gender narratives. So basically, I'll be speaking about the situation of Indian women, so various types of activism, the wave of activism, and role of women in media, some of the challenges and opportunities that Indian women are having, and how it has inform the broader gender discourse or gender narrative, and how role of Indian women will be evolved and has been evolved over the time. So that is my focus. So I'll be discussing about some of the meat, some of the stories of struggle of women for gender equality, and how they are resituating themselves in this social order, in a patriarchal, hierarchical, and racial order where there is systemic inequity, and how they are constructing their narrative, and which will contribute to a broader, gender discourse. And my study is also qualitative, and it's not that very empirical. I get sources from academic journals and those papers, and I interviewed a few journalists, and I have tabulated the responses in my study. This conference has already given me more exposure to decolonizing perspective of gender issues. So I got to learn about those decolonizing voices, because we often tell about decolonizing perspective, but in reality it involves a lot of criticality, and it also involves a lot of nuances, which is at times very difficult to even deal with. So I will also be dealing with that decolonial perspective of women in Indian media. So kind of rights that we talk about, the freedom of expression, which is very, very important. And when women are underrepresented in media, when women usually receive a threat, and there are a lot of discrimination, lot of marginalization that women are facing, apart from being in a private, sector, private sphere. Women are always having that competing identities. So it has already given me many exposures, and organizers are really good, really supportive, and I have got to learn many more aspects about gender equality, about different disciplines, how it could be equated with gender perspectives, how gender perspective is also aligned with different disciplines. That's what I have also come to learn, and I would be very thankful to the organizers for inviting me, giving me the opportunity to speak here in this forum and become a participant in this forum. Thank you very much.